Hey, here we are again, and this time we're going to do, what are we going to make today?
Biscuits.
Biscuits, and your very favorite. Out of all the recipes in the cookbook, this is June's favorite, and probably mine too. And the only problem with this recipe is I made it probably 20 million times. Sometimes it's like, oh no, June wants me to make biscuits again.
They're yummy.
They are yummy. They turn out great. I mean, this has been a great recipe for us and at home and everywhere else. And in the catering, with JDK Barbecue Catering, we use the biscuits for pulled pork sandwiches a lot, and people they love that. Maybe a little cheddar cheese. Pretty yummy, isn't it?
Super yummy.
Super yummy. That's a good sign. All right, so, and June and I, we both eat gluten-free, not by choice, but we have to. And we use King Arthur Measure for Measure a lot, and we also make our own blend at home a lot. And, you know, at first, it took some learning how to make gluten-free baking work, but I think we've got it down. We're doing a lot better with that, and you know we're used to it now. It's something that's our whole house is gluten-free, and it's something that we spend a lot of time doing, trying to get right, and it's a lot of fun too. It's a whole different way of cooking and eating, but once you get the hang of it, it's okay, right? Make our own pizza.
Yummy.
Yeah, all that good stuff. All right, folks, and this recipe will be on jimmydk.com as well as New England Cooks. And this show will also be on New England Cooks website. So we got 5 cups of flour, we got baking powder, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. And June, you gonna mix that up for me, honey?
Yeah.
What do I always tell you when we're stirring stuff?
Keep it in the bowl.
Keep it in the bowl, folks. It's not always easy, and that bowl's not really big enough, is it? That's all right. So we're just gonna get the baking soda, baking powder, and salt blended into the flour, and you wanna do this, get it pretty well mixed in. And then we've got some Cabot butter. Sometimes I use salted or unsalted, it doesn't really matter. I mean, typically you use unsalted for baking, but this Cabot salted butter is pretty good stuff. Let me add this stuff, all right? See that for a sec. Get that stirred up in there. Keep it in the bowl, Dad.
It's hard to not keep it.
I know, need a bigger bowl. This'll work.
It's really hard to keep it in the bowl.
This is a 1.5 sticks of well-chilled butter, just cut into little pieces here. And at this point, you can use your fingers to mash this in. You could use a food processor, but I seem to have always just used this pastry blender or cutter, and it works just fine. The idea is just to get the butter kind of broken up here and incorporate it into the flour. And you kind of just do this until it looks kind of like little pea-sized bits of butter into the flour. It goes pretty quick too, right?
You got some out of the bowl.
Uh-oh. You could get on to me about that. And then buttermilk, of course. You can't have buttermilk biscuits without buttermilk.
Because that's in its name.
Exactly, that's in its name, so we have to do that, whether we want to or not.
Because it's called buttermilk, and you have to add buttermilk to buttermilk.
You got it. So when I first started River Run, I never really made a lot of biscuits. I mean, growing up in the South, we had biscuits and cornbread and all that good stuff almost every day. But it wasn't my specialty. I was doing more of the wild game, the deep frying and all that stuff. My mother always made this, and I was making this at River Run once, and right in the beginning, and this lady saw me doing this, and she said, "You're doing it all wrong." And she was right. She taught me how to make really good biscuits, and I'll show you. I mean, the trick is taking the dough and just folding it, but not overworking it, and it makes great flaky biscuits, so I kind of owe her for that. Just keep mixing this in, and it starts to form a pretty good dough.
You got some dough out.
Why don't you throw it back in the bowl for me?
It feels odd.
These are fun to make too. I mean, I love making these. I said that sometime I don't want to make them, but that's not really true. I love making these biscuits. What you
The
want
dough is very smooth.
It's very smooth and got a lot of butter in there, your favorite. This girl used to eat butter sandwiches. So we're just going to turn this out. And we can continue to work at it from there. Get a little bit of flour on the hands so it's not too sticky.
I want it.
You want to work it a little bit? Go for it. Smash it down. That'll work. And this is what I was talking about with the biscuits. You see how it's starting to get a little springy? You don't want to go too much further than that. But what we're going to do is we're
It's
going to...
like a mattress.
It is like a mattress. It's like a biscuit mattress.
It's also soft.
Kind of push that back in there. Let's fold it a couple more times, all right? You see, we're not working this very hard. We're kind of taking it easy on it.
You forgot a whole chunk.
Put it right in the middle. All right, you see the spring on that? That's what you want right there. One more fold. Get the extra in there. I never use a rolling pin. I use my hands. Rolling pin just maybe for some things, but not for biscuits. And what you want to do is take this to about 1.5 to 2 inches high, and that's going to make a huge, great big buttermilk biscuit. And I think that's good. Maybe one more. Go for it, honey. Ugh. Don't want to overwork them, though. And the other fun thing about biscuits, besides making these things and getting your hands a little dirty, is cutting them out.
I love cutting them.
There's a lot of things you can do here, right?
Kitty.
We have kitty cats. We have fish hearts for Mother's Day or Valentine's, or just round. And we use square a lot,
Our
too.
kitties.
Our kitties. Let me get a couple round ones, and then I'll flatten it out a little more for you. You know, dump those on the plate.
But I
Glider.
don't want to dump them. I'll place them.
Well, kind of the same thing.
Dumping them would be dumping.
What you want to do is have these kind of bump up.
Right.
You can see all the layers on these things. See how that? Those are going to be some tasty biscuits.
It looks
So what I want you to do is flatten this out a little bit right here and cut that with your kitty. I'll do the same with some fish. If you're doing these specialty biscuits, it needs to be a little bit flatter. We must have, how many cookie cutters do you think we have at home?
A gajillion.
A gazillion, yeah, it's a lot. We love these things.
About this big?
Just look online, you can order
Daddy,
just about
about this
anything you
big?
want. Yeah, that's good. It's fun. It's fun with kids. It's fun for special occasions, you know, Christmas, whatever. I like fish.
I like cats.
June likes cats, so. We do make a little bit of a mess. Sometimes
It is
Emma
very
comes
nice.
home and we both get in a little trouble, mostly just me. You think that's funny? The first time I was here at New England Cooks, I made cornbread and made a big mess. And then I was nervous and I put all the batter, enough for 2 big large cast iron skillets, into one pan and put it in the oven. And it smoked the whole studio up. We had to stop filming. It was quite a mess. And I never do that at home, do I?
No.
No, okay, good. I thought you might tell on me.
You don't.
Okay. Did you get a kitty? You got a big kitty, too. Here, cut that sucker out. There you go. And you just keep going, folks, and you can touch these up. Like I said, touch them up a little bit. They kind of help each
It's
other
hard
rise.
to get the tail out of the.
Just keep poking at it. There you go. And then just kind of fancy it up a little bit.
What?
for 3 kitties.
Kitties are the best.
Just take your scraps, keep going. This usually makes about 10 really big biscuits, you know, about this size, like 2 inch, maybe 2.5.
Come on, Dale.
That's good. Let me
I
just
wanna
do
do
the
the
rest.
heart
You
now.
want to do a heart? All right,
I'm gonna place this here.
go for it.
This is a big biscuit.
Yeah, it's
I
going to be
think I'm doing
enormous.
it the wrong way.
That's okay. These are going to be yummy.
Super yummy. That was easy.
Just clean it up a little bit around the side. And then we have a little biscuit for samples.
I love
There you go. We got
samples.
fish, cats, and round. You can make that one any shape you want. And that's how easy the biscuits are. And then we bake these in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And a pretty hot oven too, like 425. And if you got convection, that's even better. We got a hot oven. We're gonna throw these right in. All right, folks, biscuits have been in the oven for 15, 20 minutes on 425. And they are tall and looking really good. Won't you grab your favorite kitty cat?
My favorite kitty.
There's one of our
It's
kitty
fat.
cats. It's a fat cat.
It's fat like one of ours.
Yeah, like Carlos. How about a fish?
It's hot.
And a hot fish. That's supposed to be a trout, but there they are, folks. I mean, these things can be used for everything. From, like I said earlier, snacks, sandwiches, or just for breakfast, right? You can make
Or
this
lunch,
eggs
or
Benedict.
dinner.
Yeah. Lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Everything.
Yeah.
And they're your favorite out of the whole cookbook, right? Well, maybe we should eat some then. And that's all it is to it. Look again for the recipe on my website or New England Cooks, and the recipe and the show both will be on New England Cooks website. And make these at home. Make them for your family. You can make a whole bunch at one time and freeze some if you need to. But we never get to that point. We seem to eat them up one way or another. They also make great French toast too.
They do?
Yeah, sure enough. We'll make some tomorrow if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all. See you next time.